It sounded simple, fun even. Build something beautiful, keep it cozy and add a twist. But what started as a simple idea turned into a race against the clock. And what exactly was the idea? Well, you see, Tiny Frog and I decided to work on a challenge together. The rules were simple enough. We both had to build in a flowery biome. We both had to build in some sort of Asian style. We had to include at least one bridge in the build. And we only had 2 hours to make something special. Now, was I nervous at all, you might ask? Yes, I was so nervous going into this. You have to understand that the builds I usually work on take me about 1 or even 2 days to complete. So I knew this would be a struggle for me. Oh, and we agreed to add a little surprise for each other and the viewers. And it had to be located under the bridge. We'll see about this one when we get to it. But I will say one thing. It could have been worse. Anyway, greetings builders and friends. As you can see, I have already started on this very relaxing build. Did I have any idea what Froggy had in mind of building? No. Did I know what I wanted to build? Somewhat, yes. Will I manage to complete my idea in the 2 hours I have? Maybe. We'll just have to see. The first thing I did was undo the pre-build. I needed a blank canvas, obviously. Then I looked around and took a moment to try and visualize where I wanted things to be, and I had to make some sort of a plan. I knew I didn't want a flat landscape. I wanted some sort of movement in the land. So I started sculpting and raised 3 corners of the land, creating hills, smoothing curves, and then moving trees to frame the shape of the valley. I kept all the original trees because, in my opinion, they just look better. Plus, there's always this one special tree hidden among them, and I wanted to use it in this build. I pushed most of the trees towards the edges, clearing space for a river and for the entrance to the valley. The water came next. I shaped a wide river between 2 of the hills. From there, I carved smaller streams that wind through the terrain. Then came in the main bridge, a large and quite interesting structure connecting 2 of the hills. I couldn't believe it took me over 30 minutes to make this. And I wasn't even worried. At this point, I was calm. I was enjoying the process. Honestly, I forgot there was even a timer. I was foolish enough to think I could actually take my time on the buildings I'm making and enjoy the process. With how many buildings I wanted to make, it was actually quite funny looking back at it. I really have a bad sense of time. I checked how the bridge looked at night, and I was pretty happy. You see, to really understand how absolutely delusional I was, let me explain what I had in mind of building in this 2 hours. My plan was to create a diverse-looking landscape, add a large river and some small streams coming from it, then build a large bridge where I could hide a secret creation under. I wanted 3 small homes on one hill, and then on the neighboring hill I wanted to build a large resort building with a path leading to the bottom of the hill where there would be a little dock. On the 3rd hill I wanted to make a medium-sized house with a balcony. In the valley somewhere, I wanted to build a luxurious terrace for garden and pond viewing. There would also have to be a few small bridges for all the little streams of water. And in the center of the valley, I would build a large mansion with a gate and a pavilion next to it. A very ambitious plan, to say the least. And now that you hopefully understand better what the plan is, let's continue with the building process. I built a tiny pavilion on a little island in the water, simple, elegant, a peaceful spot tucked away by itself. Then I started laying out the foundation for the main mansion. I moved the blocks around until I thought the positioning was acceptable. In this step, I could still rearrange the terrain to better fit the large building. And then I shifted my focus to the stream nearby, where I made a small, simple bridge. It's a good thing I didn't waste too much time on the bridges at least. Next to the bridge, I also added a simple gate. Then, finally, the panic started creeping in. I started working on the 3-story home. I liked how the building was somewhat sticking out of the hill and how the balcony looked in the end. But I did run into trouble with the windows. Because you get a random generated decoration when placing the windows of any type, I struggled with getting them all clear of any clutter. I was really stressed. I had the feeling I was losing too much time. Whenever clutter appeared, it chipped away at my calm, I swear. Then I changed the colors of the windows and the doors, fixing this on the bridge as well. And I thought I was done with this building, but there was just something that didn't quite sit well with how it looked. I will come back to it later. Then I remembered. I still wanted to add some lanterns to the house, but as I was placing them, I realized what had been bothering me all along. It was the roof. Something about it just didn't sit right. So I decided to fix it. And that's when disaster struck. The moment I adjusted the roof, all the carefully placed windows, yes, the ones that took me forever to get just right, disappeared. It was a bit soul-crushing, but I took a deep breath and replaced every single one of them. The hill house was finally done at around the 1-hour mark. Time was vanishing. I quickly added flowers and bushes around the hill and also a little path leading to the foot of the hill. I was stressing a bit, but I tried to keep calm. There was still so much left to do. I jumped to the opposite hill to build a small village of 3 homes. One simple 2-story home. The next one was only 1 story tall, but I added hidden lanterns for a cozy glow. And the third tucked into the trees near the river, in a little cozy nook. I connected everything with a winding path and a tiny bridge at the end. 1 more hill done. Looking at the clock, let me tell you, it wasn't slowing down. With 40 minutes left, I started on the main villa, the mansion. In this moment, I was thinking that I really shouldn't risk it. I absolutely needed to have this building complete, with all the details, since it was the main build, the centerpiece. I wanted it to be balanced, elegant, and I couldn't rush it. My delusional self, though, was still having thoughts of how I will be finishing this build so fast that I will still have time to build the other 2 remaining houses, plus the hidden secret under the bridge. But those thoughts quickly kindled out. With 20 minutes left and not nearly finished with the main building, I started to panic. My heart was racing and I started to rush, which I really hoped I wouldn't need to do. Some windows were misaligned, details placed in with the speed of light. The back side of the house, I almost wanted to skip it entirely, but I couldn't. I would not be able to sleep at night if I left it unfinished like that. So, I slapped on the windows and the lanterns at triple speed, panicking with cold hands and my heart pounding. The last 15 minutes were chaos. The luxury garden terrace, gone. The resort home, scrapped. I filled the empty land with flowers, bushes and trees, whatever I could do to make it feel more full. And then, with 9 minutes left, I started working on the tiny surprise. It was supposed to be something special, something hidden, something a little fun. And I built it, just barely. Actually, with 2 minutes over the timer. It is what it is. Okay, let's first check out Tiny Frog's build. And after that, I'm going to include some glam shots of my build as well. And you might be wondering about the hidden surprise. Well, I'll show you what Tiny Frog prepared for us. But what I had created is something that you'll just have to discover in Tiny Frog's video. along of course with their full creation process. I think one can really learn a lot from how Tiny Frog builds things. Okay, let's see. Holy moly. Look at that. That's a freaking bell. Oh, it looks dope. This looks amazing. And the bridge? Come on. This is the secret, I guess? It looks so cool. A little froggy. And I think... Is that a little bear? Is that me? Are we fighting? That's cool. That's so cool. Looks dope. This looks so cool. So many details. It looks insane. And then the water and the all the different pillars. It looks so good. And there's also this little what is this? It's like a little village. We both have a three village. No, I mean a 3-house village. Oh wait, there's also a tower here. This looks really good. Holy. Even though I didn't finish this build exactly as how I planned, I'm still quite proud of how it turned out in the end, especially of how it looks at night. 3 distinct hills, the water, bridges, a cozy village, a mansion, a pavilion. If I hadn't planned this all out ahead of time, there's no way I could have created this much of the build. So, what do you think? Which building do you think turned out looking the best? And also, would you still want me to build the missing buildings? And remember, if you want to see how Tiny Frog made their build, the whole process, you know where to go. I'll link their video in the description as well. And with that, thank you for joining me on this journey into the world of Tiny Glade. If you enjoyed this collaboration, please like, subscribe, and all that other shiny stuff. And as always, I hope you have a very nice day. Until next time. Cheers.